Welcome today to our last class of 2021. We're focusing and honoring my dog in particular and all of those lovely creatures, animals out there who support us, our sentient beings who have great spirit and support for us humans, us mere humans. So let's take a seat and we'll be covering the pose of downward dog. So I'll give you some tips and ideas for alternatives. You can always take alternate poses when you need, but I'm going to give you some alternatives to downward dog so that when that frequently becomes a part of practice, you have alternatives. We're going to begin briefly and seated. That means come to the edge of a blanket or a cushion or a chair, whatever makes you more comfortable. You can sit in cross-legged or kneel with a rolled blanket behind your knees if that bothers them. So simply come to that seat, become present in your space, in our virtual space as well, connecting with those practicing around the world here with us. So let's center into those sits bones, close the eyes so we can cut out the distractions. And notice your breath. So we're tapping into that immediately, that witness inside. When we drop down into the body and into that witnessing of the body's breath, then we take that step inward. That can always calm and take us to another place in a flurry of stress. To witness the breath and to witness the body. Your hands are on the thighs, palms down, nice grounding. Your other anchor being the sits bones. As you observe your inflow of breath and your outflow of breath, that simple. In our busy visiting or moving around, we don't have a chance to just slow down. Let's do that right now and observe any tension in the body. Be aware of it. Let your mind's eye go to that place and oxygenate. Inhale, exhale, noticing the expansion of the diaphragm. In the middle of that torso, the belly expand on the inhale and the ribs all the way to the shoulders, and exhale. Notice that contraction. Accessories to the breath, always helping you to make breath more efficient and more powerful. Notice with each exhale, maybe the thighs drop closer down to the earth, releasing the tension out of the hips. Perhaps the shoulders drop away from the ears on your next exhale. And then we can tap into the conscious breath practice that we bring to yoga. This time, Ujjayi Breath. So Ujjayi Breath is really great for the vagal nerve, which communicates to the entire body to rest and digest. You inhale through the nose, sipping in fresh air like through a straw. You can hear the sound of that breath. And then it goes into the throat, and then you can breathe out of the nostrils as if you're just making that breath audible as you breathe out of the nostrils. Mostly it's audible inside your head, so you can hear that in between your ears. Inhale again, sip it in. And as you contract the belly, notice that sound of the breath. It's a hollow sound in the throat. Actually, I often hear my dog breathing like this when she's sleeping. Soft, yet audible. Continue a few more rounds of this breath. The great thing about Ujjayi as well is it's activating the throat chakra, and that energy center is connecting our body and our mind. So we've got the brain, which often wants to disconnect from the body in the sense of our mind flirting. Feel that connection as you intake that breath that's flowing from your head down into the torso and then out again. Through that magic energy connection point, the throat, the neck. Your next exhale, flutter the eyes open, take the fingertips beside you, tent the hands next to you, press into the mat. Notice that extra support you have as the crown is able to lift even higher, prouder, tall spine, and then turn your head over to the right. Coming back through center, turn over to the left. And try it again. Notice if you have a little more flexibility. Take the fingertips behind you, thumbs forward, really opening up the collarbones. And then tuck the chin into the jugular notch below you, looking at the heart. The inhale floats the head up, lightness, and then looking up at the light, the joy of the sky. And then look forward. You'll take the right ear to a right shoulder very gently, pressing through those fingertips. Floating the head up and exhaling left ear to left shoulder. Nice. Inhale up. Another Ujjayi breath here. And then lift the arms up to the sky. So we're really lengthening through our side bodies here. Beautiful. And see how high you can reach, touch a cloud. Take the palms together in prayer position. Pressing the palms together, you feel that activation of your shoulders and drop the shoulders away from the ears. So as you do that, you're activating supportive muscles in the shoulder girdle rather than just straining towards the ears. Press that prayer position together and then bring it slightly forward, and you're going to begin to twist side to side. The ribs are twisting side to side. And we're going to travel down with that prayer position, tracing the center line as you twist side to side, using your abdominals to help you, anchoring through your pelvis there. Bringing that prayer position down to the heart. Noticing you're turning on that axis of the spine. More fluidity. Wow, so nice. Great. Let's warm our eyes. So let's rub the palms together. Get those hands warm in I think everyone on screen here is in the northern hemisphere. We're a little chilly. So let's take those palms to the eyes. Just cupping around the eyes, feeling that warmth and ease into your eye sockets. Warm the hands again. We're going to warm the ears just for a moment and then take away from the ears. So cup around the ears. Take it away. Beautiful. And now we're going to warm the body by standing up. So whatever way you like to get up. I recommend going to all fours. Just move the blanket away and then just taking a little lunge there. Taking my hand to the front side, standing up. Great. So feel that connection, the crown of the head all the way down to the toes, standing here nice and solid through your feet. See if you can just stand, look forward, and connect in with your toes. Spread them out, especially that pinky toe. Maybe it feels like they're spread. And then have a gaze down and just see if they're spread out. Making a nice strong footprint. So thinking of a summer kind of image here. If there's warm sand beneath you, wet from the ocean, and you're trying to make a perfect footprint. Down and look up. Beautiful. And then we're going to get into our shoulders right away. So lift the arms above the head and then take the palms forward. I'm going to show you from here. My palms are forward. And then take the elbows down to cactus hands. Very nice. And then let's ease the elbows down next to the ribs. and then the palms up. Come forward, bring the forearms together, and then lift the palms up in front of you as you squeeze the forearms together. And then lift up, open up like a curtain, and then open up the palms, shine out those fingertips, little suns. And then come down, easing the elbows down to the ribs. Palms up. Notice as you place the palms up, you're outwardly rotating your shoulders. So we're getting ready for a downward dog practice. So squeeze those forearms together and bring it up. Elbow crease towards the third eye, that knowing point in the body, still point, and then bring the palms forward. So we're just easing through a nice flow into our shoulders, unrounding the back. And then again. Beautiful. Nice shape all the way through those fingertips. And then let's take the arms out into T. So reach through the fingertips, bring the shoulders up to the ears. Inhale. Exhale, drop it all away. Again, connect to the feet, feeling all four corners of your feet. Inhale, exhale, turn over towards your right shoulder, look over your right fingertips. We're looking into that point ahead way, maybe in the future figuratively, and then feeling that left hand reaching into the past as we are on the cusp of our year change here. And then let's press the left hand into an imaginary wall in that behind space. Feel that buzz along the arm. Maybe take the arm, the left hand, and slide along that imaginary wall behind you. Nice nerve floss here. And then slide forward. Inhale, bring the gaze forward. Exhale, take the arms to T. And then turn over, following your breath, turn over the left fingertips. Again, let's look in the other direction. Feeling that space in front of you and behind you. All the intentions forward and backward and around us. And then press the left hand into right hand into that imaginary wall. Maybe slide it behind you. Keeping the gaze soft, and then slide the right hand forward. Inhale brings you back to T arms, and let's take those wings and fly ourselves forward. So nice wingspan here, touching down to the thighs and then up again. So we're gliding through the shoulders, again preparing us for a nice freeing downward dog later on. Then we'll fly up, send all this beautiful energy out into the world, our globe, healing 2022. Take your right hand and grab your left wrist. Hang on to that. And then take your left foot and trace it behind your right. Bend the right knee and that forward knee bend. Stand down strongly through both feet. Inhale, reach the crown of the head up towards the sky and then lean over towards your right. Inhale makes that spine longer. Exhale allows the release downward. Soft. Supporting that left wrist. Encouraging the left side to expand. Now you're gazing forward now, but you can also bring the gaze softly down towards the floor, just an inch or two, and then up towards the sky. As you ease over. Maybe one more inhale brings a teeny bit more release. Exhale here. And then sweep on up to the sky and wind the feet. Take the left hand and grab the right wrist. And then sweep the right foot behind the left, and you're going to bend the left knee on that forward position. But both feet taking a nice weight here. And inhale, feel that length through the crown of the head towards those clouds up there, and then exhale, release to the left. Inhale, noticing that fabric on your right side, expanding, getting the wrinkles out. Soften. Maybe gaze down towards the floor, up towards the ceiling. Continuing that path of breath. Great, and then sweep up. And then take the arms down. So I'm going to suggest a rotation in the arms. It's kind of a trick for downward dog. So this is just standing on the mat. Take your right arm and make it long and straight forward in front of you, front of the shoulder height. And then take your left fingers and place them on the inside of your right hand. Sorry, on the inside of your right arm, forearm, so that they're pointing up. So the fingers are pointing up here. And then keep that arm nice and straight. Roll the shoulder away from the ear. Inhale. Exhale, and you're going to take the fingertips and take the skin of that forearm, the right forearm, and take the skin of the upper arm, thank you, and twist it up and away from the body. So you're doing an outward rotation of your shoulder there. So feel that rotation in the shoulder as you twist. It's kind of a circular direction. If I had an arrow here, I would be going in a circular direction away from the body. And now turn the palm up towards the sky. So you can feel an extra rotation happen when you open that palm up, right, towards the sky. Now hold the left hand at the upper arm. Keep that rotation and see if you can turn that palm towards the floor while keeping that outward rotation on the upper arm and the shoulder. So if you have trouble with putting your hand flat, and imagine pressing your right hand against a surface such as the floor in downward dog. This is the opening you need in downward dog. So you need that outward rotation in your upper arm and your shoulder, and the lower arm and the hand are more in a downward position for the downward dog. But if you have trouble with your right hand and you have trouble placing that flat, then you might want to take the forearm alternatives that I'm going to suggest later. So let's take the test on the left too. So take the left arm out, right fingertips up towards the sky at the upper arm on that left side, and do that twist. So rotate it outward. You can feel the shoulder rotate. And then take the palm up towards the sky and see if you can maintain that outward rotation on that upper arm while you take the left palm down towards the floor. And then imagine just pressing on something there. And check that position of your left hand. If you have trouble with your wrists or shoulders, just think about some alternatives. Here you go. All right, so that's the test. Maybe your shoulders feel a little open even after encouraging that. So we're going to start with a fold. And if you have a block, just take that block to your thigh, to the thigh, so above the knees. And we're going to just do some folding just to get started towards our flow. So take yourself to the bottom of your mat into mountain pose and hold the block between the thighs. And in order to put our pelvis into a slight tilt there, we want to send the block back a little bit through the thighs, through the thigh strength. So you're inwardly rotating your thighs, not so much to compromise the knees. It's very subtle. And then you're pointing that tailbone down like an arrow. So activating that core. Take the hands to the hip crease. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale. Let's bend forward at the hips crease. So we want to reach the spine long while we squeeze the block. We've done this before, but let's just get really clear on this, especially with the downward dog prep. Inhale, grow tall, exhale, dip forward again, only as is comfortable for you as you press down on those thighs, growing out away from the thighs to lengthen the spine. You can go only to diagonal or to the midpoint on a flat back. Feeling that stretch in the hamstrings, but squeezing the block, protecting the lower back. One more time. Inhale up. Just nodding forward and coming up. Great. Now, with that, I'm going to take the block that on the floor, and we're going to come towards some balance point. I have my couch. If you have something like a wall or anything, we're going to do the first downward dog alternative, which is the L. And it does have the benefits of downward dog without some of the strain on the wrists. So come into mountain pose, just a body's length away from your balance point. Inhale, the arms above the head. Exhale, hinging at the hip crease like we were, and just reach out for the balancing point. And you can take the shape of an L with the body, so step those feet away from the chair or the couch or the wall, and just hold on there. You can bend the knees, bringing the ribs closer to the thighs, or you can straighten the legs. So the concept here is the same as in downward dog, which is why it's a great alternative if you have sore wrists or shoulders. You're still lengthening as you inhale from the crown to the sits bones. And your feet are your anchor, and you still have some contact point with your hands. So you can get the benefits of downward dog, stretching these hamstrings, bending and straightening. Making sure, checking your alignment of your back of the skull with your bottom of the spine. So bending and straightening. And noticing this is essentially just an L-shaped downward dog. You can do this at any wall or chair anytime you feel tightness. Bend the knees and then walk towards the front of or towards your balancing prop, and then walk back to the bottom of the mat. So that is alternative number one. Great benefits to that pose. Inhale the arms above the head at the bottom of your mat. And then come out into that wingspan we were practicing earlier. Reach out and then fold forward at the hips. Bend the knees. Hands find the mat. And we're going to just come down into tabletop. So while we're here in our tabletop, we're going to use those shins as our anchor point, not the knees. And the hands, wrists below shoulders, knees below hips. So while we're on our way to our dog alternatives, we're going to do a cat. And inhale, tuck the tailbone under, towards the floor. Lift the back of the ribs up towards the sky, navel pushes towards the spine. Drop the head, look at the knees. And then back, we're going to lift the tailbone up. Navel drops. And shoulder blades come together, lift up. The cow. Follow your breath. Do a few of these cat-cows, visiting parts of the spine that maybe feel a little bit ignored. Travel bone by bone up the spine and see if you can get a little more flexion or extension in those areas. And as you do this, I'll just describe why I'm covering downward dog today. It has great benefits. Additionally, oxygenating the brain because we're going to an inversion and bringing that nice mind-body connection, improving the flow between body and brain. Great for circulation and strength and toning. You can come to a neutral spine. However, a downward dog can often injure people, like their wrists. So let's sit back on the heels, just hips to heels, so that you're not straightening the wrists. So it can also put that strain on the wrists or other things. So we want to make sure that we align correctly, or have a great alternative. So let's try another one. So that's called a puppy. So come forward into our all fours and then reach the arms out nice and long. So you're going to take those palms and really spread them out, index finger pointing towards the top of the mat, and bring the crown of the head, bring the forehead down to the mat. So you're reaching long, and your shins are still your anchor in the back, but your thighs are 90 degrees to the mat. We've done this before, and it can always be used as the alternative as we go through a flow. Inhale through the crown of the head, sending it all the way back to that tailbone. Exhale and really feel the connection there through the forehead, through the forearms and the palms in the earth. So any of the stress of 2021 that you want to leave behind, allow it to melt out of that third eye. One more inhale and exhale here. Beautiful. Back to puppy pose. Back out of puppy pose to all fours. And while we're here, we'll find that neutral spine in all fours. Let's do a bird dog so we can get some core strength training in here today. Inhale. Let's take the right leg back, straighten it, and curl the back toes under. Anchoring through your left shin, let's lift the right leg off the floor. And then if you're uncomfortable with your wrists here, you can take your fists below as well. Inhale the left arm next to left ear. Inhale into bird dog, nice and long, reaching. Exhale, come down. As you do this, imagine that you've got your New Year's beverage balancing on your sacrum. See if you can balance it and keep it even. Left leg back, curl toes under, lift up, left arm right, left leg, right arm. Exhale, brings you down. Try it again. Tone the navel towards the spine. Again, keeping that steadiness. Notice if you're kind of wobbling or flopping and you want to tap into the center line. That center line, imagine it going down the middle of the mat. Hug into it. Follow your breath. Okay, great. Now we're going to try our other alternative, which is a forearm downward dog, which also is called a dolphin. So if you want to take a block, if you have one, if you don't, it's not completely required, so it's fine. Take the block to the top of the mat. We're kind of still on our all fours. And you can take your hand next to the mat, like your L of your index and your thumb, and place them on next to that block. So you're making a square with those two, with that shape with the hands, while pressing the palms into the mat and the forearms. And again, anchor in the back is not your knees, but your shins. So let's find that anchor point. While we're here with our forearms down, I want to unround the back a bit. So I'm going to suggest our puff here. So you're going to inhale, separate the shoulder blades, puff the back of the heart up towards the sky. And then exhale, bring the heart and melt the shoulder blades together and bring that down towards the mat. Keeping the head steady here, we're just getting into that thoracic spine. So lift up again on the inhale, and then exhale, melting away the stress. Inhale, again, one more time, spread the shoulder blades apart, and exhale, melt it down. Great, come back to neutral. So we just did the extreme of the shoulder blades away and together, so find that neutral space in between. Press into your forearms and press into the palms. Now again, if any of this is uncomfortable for anyone's shoulders, you can take puppy pose as well. Press into that block in front of you, curl the back toes under, and then lift the knees off the mat. Bring your ribs towards the thighs and look upside out at the toes. Feet are about hip width apart, so you can adjust in your tippy toes here. Bring the thighs, bring the ribs toward the thighs. If this is a strain for you, as you bring that heart towards the heels, just come down on the knees. Just take a little break. Yeah, everybody take a break with me and just lean back in child's pose. Forehead to the mat. Inhale, exhale. Let it out. Come back come back up on the exhale. And then pressing through the palms and the forearms. Roll the toes under, lift the knees off the mat. And then see if you can paddle your feet so that the leg straightens and bends. One at a time. Lift yourself into tiptoe. Look down at those feet. Make sure to hang the head here as the heart comes towards the heels. And then maybe drop the heels towards the mat. So we're in Dolphin. This is a challenging pose, but it's a great alternative. If you have wrist issues, come down, knees down, slide back to child's. Forehead down. Inhale, back up towards the forearms. And I'm going to suggest as well, you can also take the block away and you can press your palms together in prayer below your head. And really push them together to activate your shoulders, rolling your shoulders away from the ears before you go up. Press the forearms and those palms together. This is just experimentation here. So if anything is pinching or uncomfortable, please go back to puppy or just downward dog if you know it. And then come back and lift the knees up. And really see if you can just release a bit in that sternum area. So like your heart is looking at your heels. Should feel like a release, no strain. And bring the knees back. And stretch back into child. Open up the palms to the sky as you keep that forehead on the mat. Imagine some beautiful, positive thing coming into your hands, receiving. Inhale into the back body, exhale. Take the palms down to the mat. And then bring yourself back up to vertical. Nice job. So let's do a regular downward dog with a little bit of a variation. So with the bottom of the mat or a blanket, you can roll the bottom of the mat up, or you can take a blanket for your heels. So this is just another nice comfort that you can provide yourself in down dog. Come back to all fours, prepping for down dog. And you can use your forearms if that's more comfortable for you. Curl the back toes under from all fours, and then lift up into tiptoes, ribs to thighs, and then lower your heels to that blanket. So if you notice, the feet are sort of in that high heel position. Down dog, reaching along through the arms, activating that like we were doing up standing. Those shoulders outwardly rotated. There you go. So this is another variation in case you have trouble with that flexion back there at the heels. Inhale. Feel the gaze soften. Outwardly rotate those shoulders. And then bring the knees down to the mat. And there's one more variation that I'll just suggest. We don't have to do it because not everybody has two blocks. But if you have trouble with like deep flexion in your wrist, you can also use a block, two blocks at the top of the mat, and use them when you go up into down dog so that the flexion isn't as strong, isn't as deep, and it just takes some weight off of your wrist. So feel free to try these downward dog. Right now, we're going to do either a regular downward dog, the L, as we were doing with the balance, the puppy, the rolled blanket, or dolphin. So you can take your choice right now, but let's come to all fours or forearm fours to prep. So take those index fingers pointing forward. Inhale, get that neutral spine. Find that horizontal length first. Curl the toes under, and then lift the knees off the mat and press away. If you're in just a Downward dog standard, we want to make sure that, again, think about our exercise standing up, where we rotated those shoulders out and away from the ears, right? You can bend the knees first, bring the ribs to the thighs, and then try to straighten the legs. Bring the heels to the mat. Inhale, we'll lengthen the spine, tailbone reaching up in that diagonal position. And exhale, release and notice the foundation, the hands and the feet. Also, see if your back of the skull can match your sacrum. So you're not forward hunching. I know you're not, because we did a nice opener for the shoulders first. And then bend the knees and walk the hands to the feet. We'll end up in a nice forward bend here. Hang the head down if this is good for you. If you have blood pressure issues, you can just always come up. And take the thumbs to the elbow creases and look down, upside down, like the bat in the cave. Keeping the ribs on the thighs, knees bent, or straighten the legs if you want that hamstring opener. Another great benefit to our inversions, just getting that weight off of the neck, the head, the weight of the head to your benefit here. Just giving some traction to your neck. Gently shake the head, yes or no. And then, of course, our change of perspective, right? Look at the world upside down. We always can use a nice change in perspective as we roll into a new year. Okay, bend the knees again, behind the toes. Let's bring the ribs to the thighs. Sweep the arms behind you, reaching up behind you, nice and long arms, straight. And then sweep the arms down and exhale towards the floor, and then up next to the ears. And then nice and strong, we're going to peel the ribs off the thighs into chair pose. Sit back in that chair. Keep that spine long. Sacrum finds the back of the skull. Inhale. Imagine some hands grabbing yours and then pulling you up and standing out strong through your feet. Mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale. Great. Now we're going to step forward with the right foot and find the warrior stepping forward into 2022. So let's take that right foot, point those toes forward, left toes angled 45 degrees or 30, your angle that's comfortable. Your feet find each other. There's always the step forward and the supporting step. And you want to make sure they're connected into the midline. Inhale, hands on hips. Exhale, bend the front knee towards those middle two toes. Drop the pelvis down. You might want to step back. And then inhale, the arms above the head. Find your hips, bones, point them forward. Bring the palms together above your head. Salute to the sky. Look up. Imagine your heart has eyes. It's going to look up too. Drop shoulders away from the ears. Warrior one. Exhale. Sweep out into those wingspan arms. And then down around that front foot. Curl your back toes under into a low lunge. Fingertips tent up. Spider hands. Pull back towards the back of the mat. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring the knee down to the mat. In the back. And then draw the right knee back. And then we're going to do a beautiful downward dog that is so set up for success. Whatever you choose, any of those variations. Inhale into puppy, downward dog, dolphin, L, whatever you want. Feel that extra length we've created. Bend the knees, walk the hands towards the feet. Hang down. this time, take the hands to the hip crease. Inhale into a flat back and stand up. We need to take that strong step forward on both sides, right? Stay even towards the midline. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, step forward with the left foot. Angle the back foot. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, drop the hips. Adjust the feet. Feet find each other. Hip bones forward. Sweep the arms above the ears. Press the palms together. Gaze up. Feel the inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, swing scan out to the side. And then come around that front foot. Curl the back toes under, low lunge. Make sure to adjust that back foot. Bring the back knee down. Sweep the left leg back. Up into a puppy. I'm going to do puppy. You guys can do downward dog, whatever you want. If you're doing puppy, forehead comes to the mat. Curl the back toes under if they're not already. And then walk your hands back to the feet. Hang down. Hands to hip crease. Inhale up, flat back. Stand. If you haven't gotten the hint, this is going to be our moving meditation. So at your pace, with your own breath, take these poses, just walking into warrior one, sweeping to high lunge, and then back to your puppy dog, or whatever you choose to do for that pose. Come back and do it on the other side. Very few cues. If you want to go through twice, that's fine. I'll allow kind of enough time for people to do it twice, but if you want to anytime take just downward dog or child pose, you can do that too. So let's begin our moving meditation, honoring my dog, Maddie, and honoring 2021 and 2022. Mountain pose. Hands to hips, step forward, warrior one. If you forget the sequence, you can always watch me up here. Warrior one, high lunge. All fours down dog. Mountain. If you start to over effort, slow it down. Find Ujjayi Breath. Adjust. Make this your flow. we'll meet in mountain pose. Hands at the heart, in Ujjayi Mudra, prayer position. Feeling the center, close the eyes. Notice the warmth of the body, the connection, mind, body, spirit, flowing. Beautiful. Open the eyes, drop the hands, arms next to the body. Inhale, reach up for the sky again. Exhale, forward bend. Find the floor. Bend the knees, walk the hands out, and we're going to come onto our bellies. Move the props aside. Forehead finds the floor, drape the body down. Make a pillow for your head with your hands if you'd like. Just feel that connection. Not often that we find the time to connect the front body to the earth here. This beautiful planet. Like giving a hug. If you haven't brought the forehead to the floor, move the hands to the side, bring the forehead down. Reach the arms next to the ears. And then finding that strength within. We'll lift the right leg off the floor of the head, the left arm. Coming down and then inhaling up. Other side, right arm and left leg. Strengthening both sides. Fortifying. And then bring the forehead down, and we'll bring arms and legs up and head to locust. Sense of what's below the feet, behind us, and forward, superhero flying. Exhale down. Let's tap into a little more superhero again. Probably need that super strength for all that's going on these days. Inhale. Reaching through the crown of the head. Strong through the body and the arms and legs, glutes, yet the gaze remains soft. Exhale down. Now with that forward, sense of forward motion, let's inhale that same motion, but let's paddle the arms and legs as swimming. Swimming strong forward in a beautiful body of water. Paddle, paddle. And down, take one ear to the mat. And sway the hips side to side. Oh, nice and easy. And then take the other ear down. Sway the hips side to side. Take the forehead to the mat. Or take the hands down below the forehead, whatever you choose. We're going to take the legs up, so 90 degrees with your legs, so soles of the feet reaching towards the sky. And slightly windshield wiper, just kind of a slow windshield wiper of our shins, that backward, side to side. To Ujjayi Breath. And slow that down. And just ease yourself over onto the back. And clear the props away up the side so we can take a beautiful, luxurious twist. Open the arms into a T so that long wingspan. Feel the collarbones really reaching out, bend the knees and the soles of the feet on the floor. Feel the shoulders drop towards the earth, that sense of gravity on your side. All of this beautiful physics of our planet and universe keeping us grounded. And then marry the knees together. Bring the feet together. Find the back of the skull and the sacrum. Make sure they're in a nice long line. That pearl, string of pearls, that is your spine. And then inhale the feet off the floor, knees at feet, shin is parallel to the floor, so 90 degrees. And then we're going to roll over towards the right side. And as you do that, you notice the left shoulder lifts up and the left arm wants to lift up straight up to the sky. Let's do that. And then bring the palms together. Notice that alignment. So you've got the thighs are 90 degrees to the body. Arms reaching long, skull and sacrum aligned. And then let's sweep that left arm up to the sky again. And reach over towards that long wingspan, T arms. And then lift the knees up. That strength in the abs. And then over, take it over to the other side. Keeping those knees together. Left side. Notice the right shoulder lifts up. Just follow that line. Lift the right arm up toward the sky. And then bring the palms together on the other side. And there, inhale brings that right arm back again. And then the knees come up towards the sky. Let's roll it out again. Palms together. Left arm up. Easing yourself into a nice rotation along that axis point, or the horizontal axis of your spine. One more time. Dynamic twist. Beautiful. Come back up onto your back. Take the feet wide apart, knees together. And we can do windshield wiper this way. So we'll take the right knee towards the left foot along the shin, and then the left knee along the right shin towards the right foot, vice versa. Really feeling that length on the hip flexors and the outside of the thighs as you bring that knee down towards the foot. Reach the arms up next to the ears. You can take the thumbs to the elbow crease and just use that lift of your thumb into the elbow crease to lengthen your body a little bit away from the hips. And then bring the forearms above the head and sway them side to side, elbows opposite direction of the legs. And then we're going to sway the head. It's going to go side to side, left to right, away from the arms. Coming back to Ujjayi Breath, really feeling this entire communication through to the top of the spine all the way to the bottom. And then the eyes follow the arms. This is another great everyday stretch. If you want to get the whole body in one fell swoop, try this one. Easing everything out, squeezing it out. Inviting in what we need, squeeze it out what we don't. Cleanse. And then come back, slow that down. Straighten out your right leg on the mat. Straighten out the left leg. Straighten out the right arm. Straighten out the left arm. Settle yourself in on the mat for Shavasana, our 2021 finale, Shavasana. Let's take ourselves floating on our mats. You can choose whether to float on a beautiful body of water or on a cloud. Imagine just getting comfortable on that flotation, feeling lighter, palms towards the sky, allowing the breath as a conduit, connecting to the universe through our mind, our body, and our spirit. Allow the breath to bring you into visualization where you're floating. The sights around you. Sounds. Notice as you float, the sense of ease that enters the body. Back to Ujjayi Breath, through the nose, out through the nose. The breath is your ticket to whatever destination you'd like to go to, whatever intention you set at whatever time you choose. Remember that constant of your breath. As we move forward into a new year. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bend the elbows and the knees. Roll over onto your right side, away from your heart, sending your intentions out to our globe, to our planet, to our friends, to the sentient beings out there that we appreciate so much. And then allow yourself to come to a seated position supported by your hands. Head is the last to rise. Bring the hands in prayer position in front of the heart. And then point the fingertips down. Back of the hands together. We'll just send a nice gathering and sending out energy through the palms of the lotus hands. Sending out and receiving beautiful energy from anywhere out there. Come back towards the body, wash it down through the body, and then circle back to prayer. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing the practice with me today, and Maddie.